When people are moving to Jacksonville, Florida, I get a common question from pretty much everybody, and that's Travis, where should we move? What's a good suburb? What's a good area for me and my family? I'm going to talk about some of the best areas in Jacksonville to move to if you have a family. First, I want to touch on the Duval County school system and the improvements that we've seen here recently. So we went from having around a 78.8% graduation rate to now having a 94.3% graduation rate. And that is just so insane. Like, I can't even believe it's coming out of my mouth. That's such a huge difference. So that's an amazing feat for Duval County schools. We've also seen that we had 12 schools that were ranked D and F last year, and now only 2 schools are left in the D category. Everything else has moved up to a C, and that's just amazing. And then 45 of the overall schools here in the Duval County have moved up a letter grade. So we're just having tons of improvement in the school system. So if you have a family, you think about raising kids here, the school system is improving. Now, before I jump too far into this, I want to say my name is Travis Koff. I'm a local veteran realtor here in Jacksonville. I offer a free relocation guide for Jacksonville. All you have to do is go in the description below, click the link, and it'll send it to you. You have to enter your email and such. I also offer my resume that'll also be in the description, and then a Google Meet. You can set one up with me if you want to have a discussion about moving to Jacksonville. But I appreciate your time. Let's jump right into it. So the first suburb or area we're going to talk about is going to be Mandarin. Mandarin is an extremely nice, quiet place. It's very established, which means that the families have been living there for a while for the most part. They have kids out there playing around. There's not going to be a ton of new construction in the area. It's very close to shopping centers. It's very close to going to St. John's Town Center. You're next to I-295, sorry. So if you want to go out of town for the weekend, you know, you're right next to the highway. You can get on wherever you got to go. I refer to it as highway my whole life. I don't know. I can't say interstate. So if you're trying to go somewhere, you're close to that, or if you're just trying to get around the city, you can get on that quickly as well. There's tons of movie theaters over there, tons of gyms over there, and great schools. So all the schools that I talk about in this video are going to be from niche.com, the rankings. And so we'll talk a little bit about that as well. So you have Mandarin High School, which is going to have an A- rank on niche.com. You have Loretto Elementary School, which is going to be a B+ rank, which is amazing. You have Greenland Elementary School, which is a B+, and then you have Mandarin Oaks Elementary School, which is a B+ as well. And then you're going to have 4 other schools in the area that have a B rating. The downside of this is that because the neighborhood is already established, or the suburb, like some of the homes have been there for a little while, so you might have to replace a roof or AC, something like that when you buy a property, if you don't get that kind of like negotiated in the terms. So something to think about when you're moving here is Mandarin is beautiful. It's quiet. You go out to, you know, the Publix. You can go to St. John's Town Center quickly, all that stuff. And you can come home to a nice, quiet neighborhood. The next one that we're going to talk about is going to be Orange Park. So Orange Park is going to be on the western side of the city. It's very nice. It has NAS Jacks over here where you can get on base. So if you're a veteran, this is a place where I definitely suggest looking. I live over closer to Orange Park. I live a little more west, but it's easy to get to NAS Jacks if I want to go on base, go shopping, whatever it is. We also have a couple of VA clinics that are pretty close to here as well. You have one in Middleburg and then one closer to the north side, but it's about a 20-minute drive, which are really nice. And then you also have the one in Gainesville, about 45 minutes south of us, maybe an hour or so, depending on where you live. But it's very close. If you're coming from the west side to get down to Gainesville or the hospitals, if you're a veteran, it's a really easy drive, right? We also have a lot of active duty military on this side as well, because it's just so close to base. And if you live on the other side and you're trying to go to base every day, depending on where you station, because you have Mayport and all that good stuff over there as well, you're more than likely going to be stuck in traffic all the time. So if you're at NAS Jacks, you want to look towards like Orange Park, maybe Oakleaf, Middleburg, or somewhere like close in Clay County, Fleming Island, something like that, right? So something to think about. If you're active duty, definitely go to the west side. If you're going to be going to NAS Jacks every day, definitely check out Orange Park, Oakleaf, or Middleburg, excuse me. So I will say that it is nice to be over here close to the base for a veteran. The issue is that sometimes the traffic over here can kind of suck trying to get to Orange Park or through Orange Park even to go to maybe St. John's or whatever it is, the beaches, whatever. Sometimes going through Orange Park is kind of a headache, I won't lie. So that's kind of tough, but you know, that's pretty much anywhere you go here in Jacksonville nowadays. Parts of the city do need updating, like I said, but they are working on it. I've seen a lot of construction happening. The schools, they are definitely getting a lot better. We have Orange Park Elementary, which is going to be rated an A. We have Orange Park High School, which is going to be rated a B+, which is a big improvement. And then we have Orange Park Junior High, which is a B. The next one that we're going to talk about is going to be Fleming Island. Fleming Island is really nice. It's about 10 to 15 minutes southwest of Orange Park. So it's a little south of the Jacksonville city itself, but it is a very nice area. Tons of people love to come here. It has a great amenity center. It's a master plan, so everything's kind of like put together really well. Tons of restaurants, tons of shopping, tons of things to do, trails, parks. They have golf courses, all kinds of fun stuff. So it's very nice. They have beautiful homes there. They have very nice communities, and everyone kind of takes care of everything there. The schools are really good there as well. It is a really hot spot. I do see a lot of people like kind of gravitating towards Fleming Island because it is a little bit cheaper than if you're going to St. John's or something like that. There's competition there to get a home, I would say, but it's not like anything like St. John's or Nocatee. People do like it because it does have a good school system. You're also close. If you want to go to Tampa, something like that, you're kind of already in that direction, and they are doing a lot of improvements on the roads and stuff down in that area. So it is very nice. Fleming Island, I definitely recommend it. And if you like pizza and you go there, definitely check out V's Pizza. Not sponsored, but it is a really good pizza shop. I do like the food a lot. So yeah, Fleming Island is amazing. It's very nice, very well taken care of. They have tons of parks and trails and stuff where you can go take your family. So if you have a family and you're looking to, you know, maybe put them in a good school and like also have kind of space and be kind of like in the inner city as well, but not too close to the city, Fleming Island is definitely a good place to check out. I will say that the only thing that does suck is that Fleming Island, the traffic coming to the city can be a bit of a headache. So that's kind of really the only down parts of Fleming Island. Is just really the commute, in my opinion. I've spent a lot of time down there, and trying to come back between like Oakleaf and Fleming Island kind of sucks a little bit. But the school system there is really good. So we have Fleming Island High, which is an A-rated school, so that's amazing, right? We have the high school is amazing. Fleming Island Elementary, A-rated again. Robert M. Patterson Elementary is an A-rate. We have Thunderbolt Elementary in the area is going to be A-minus. Lake Asbury Junior High is going to be A-minus as well. So they have really good schools there. So anywhere in kind of Clay County has really good schools. So you talk about Middleburg. Middleburg is kind of like the same. Middleburg is an up and coming area. So Middleburg is similar to Fleming Island in some ways that you have a little bit more like land on your lots, and it's not like really developed yet, right? So they're putting out tons of new townhomes, tons of new houses out there. They're putting a lot of money into it. They're trying to get people to move out there with USDA loans. So if you're looking to kind of move into an area where everything is still relatively cheap, but it is coming up and you're going to get appreciation for your value, or if you want to get like a rental, something like that, Fleming Island, Middleburg, something in between those, that area is going to be really nice. I will say that the Clay County schools are amazing. Those are mainly the ones that I was at, and I really like those schools. Those are some of the better schools that I took a part of like substituting or teaching in. And then, yeah, just really good. I like it a lot. I like Clay County's schools, and also Fleming Island is just beautiful in general. So yeah, we'll move on to the next one. I just wanted to kind of lump them two together because they're right next to each other. And the next one we'll talk about is going to be St. John's. So if you don't know, St. John's is probably one of the most premier like suburbs areas to live at in Florida, right? So St. John's is beautiful, man. It's very well taken care of. The people there have like a lot of respect for where they live. They have great pride in cleaning up all the time. But this area is very friendly, like kid friendly, very like family friendly. They're focused on schools. They're focused on, you know, raising their kids to be excellence, right? It is number 1 and number 2 in school ratings per district pretty much every year. They're either 1 or 2. Nassau County was number 1 this year, most recent year. So that's cool. They're both in Jacksonville. But St. John's is beautiful, man. They have tons of stuff to do there. It's got like Nocatee, and they have master plans where you can take your kids out to the slides. Like they have like lazy rivers. They have all kinds of fun stuff to do there. And there's going to be more competition to move there for sure. The taxes are going to be a little bit more. And it's just a beautiful place to live. So it is kind of tough to get in there because so many people want to live there, because we all want to give our kids that great education, right? And it gives you that little like 70s, 80s neighborhoods feel that you see in the good movies where everyone's just happy, kind of having a good time. The kids are out playing on the streets. Like you can drive down the neighborhoods down there, and it just seems like kids are out there having fun. Like nobody's bothering anybody. There's no trouble. Kids are just happy. They're having a good time. And that's what I like about St. John's, is it feels really family oriented and like school oriented, and they're focused on their kids, giving them like a good education in life. And I love that. So St. John's, I definitely recommend for people. It can be a little bit hard to get into, a little bit more pricey, but it is a beautiful neighborhood, a beautiful area. I guess it's a county, but it is a beautiful place to buy a home. And then I would say something about the schools, but I'm gonna put an image up here somewhere. And the schools there are pretty much all A rated. Like there's a couple B's, but pretty much they're all A rated. There's like 20, 30 of them. So that's why it's usually number 1 or 2. It's just that all the schools are good. Every school there pretty much is amazing. So we'll move on to the next one because I don't want to keep going about that one, because I could talk about St. John's for a little while. I personally love going over there. It's very nice, very quiet, and very clean. The next one we'll talk about is going to be Oakleaf Plantation. I actually currently live in Oakleaf Plantation myself. Oakleaf is amazing. I love Oakleaf. For me personally, I think it's a great area. They have really good schools. They're really family oriented. The kids can go around and mess around and have a good time. Nobody's gonna go bother them. It's pretty safe here for the most part. There's a couple car accidents here and there, but nothing crazy, right? And they just put up a new Walmart that opens in 2 days actually. So it's February the 3rd, the time of this recording, and I think it opens on the 5th or 6th. They have a Target over here, Ulta, Ross, Michaels, Kohl's. Or that the Michaels is closer to Orange Park, but in between. They have a Publix over here, tons of stuff, right? There's tons of stuff to do over here, tons of good schools. It is very, very friendly for the family as well. Tons of sports and activities and trails and parks to come do. So I enjoyed over here. You see a lot of military families come over here because it's like a little western. It's more outside of the city, so you're still getting a little bit of a city feel, but you don't have to drive into the city to go do things, right? Like you still have the Target and all that good stuff here, and you have Hobby Lobby, PetSmart. I love Oakleaf myself. I definitely recommend it if you're in the military and you have a family. Oakleaf is amazing. You know, it's hard to get to work as well if you're living on the other side of the bridge. So Oakleaf fits here because it's on the western side of the city where NAS Jax is. So it takes you about 20 to maybe 30 minutes, depending on traffic, obviously, to get to work. But if you're going to the base, of course. But everything's kind of in the community. We don't really need to go anywhere. All the doctors are here for me personally. And if you have to go down to the VA clinic down in Middleburg, it's like 12 minutes, something like that from here. So it's amazing. The downsides, I will say that sometimes the traffic can be annoying here, especially because they're putting up new lights for the Walmart that just got put up and is opening in a couple of days outside of my neighborhood. And it can get a little annoying, but it's fine. I'd rather have the lights and a little bit of traffic over, you know, having car wrecks and stuff like that, because back before they had all the lights and stuff, you saw a lot of like young people were driving extremely fast, like getting in car wrecks down here and stuff like that. But they didn't have any lights, so they were just like going on the straightaways and stuff. And so it's good to see the lights. I don't mind the traffic if everyone's being safe, to be quite honest with you. I will say the negative here, though, is some of the HOAs can be kind of annoying sometimes. I've seen a lot of people have issues with some of them, but not too many. You know, HOAs just it's kind of is what it is type thing. The schools are really good here. I actually substituted at the schools here for the longest time before I moved to Tampa and got my certificate to teach. And then so the schools here are really good. So you have Oakleaf High School, which is A-, Discovery Oaks Elementary A-, Oakleaf Village is an A-, and then also Oakleaf Junior High is an A-. So I will say these schools are really good. I've taught at all of these schools. I will say that when I was there, they were really good. The teachers are really good. The students are respected there. And the kids also have a lot of fun. They have a ton of fun there. I will say that the kids do love it. So also we have a good gym here, which is going to be Choose Fitness, and a nice movie theater, which is going to be Epic Theaters. So they're really nice. So it gives you something to do every day, you know, work on your fitness and then go see some movies as well. And then we'll talk about Jacksonville beaches. So I'm pretty sure everyone already knows the lifestyle about it, but I'll just kind of go over it briefly. Jacksonville beaches is more like if you want to just kind of catch a vibe per se, and you want to wake up and you just want to go walk down and go to restaurants, you know, drink a martini or whatever it is, or go sit on the beach all day. Like if you want to move to Jacksonville beaches and just kind of vibe and go surf, go to the beach every day, this is a good time to be there, man. I tell you, like any time to be at the beaches, like especially if you're moving in the next couple of months, it's going to be a fun time. Like everyone has a great time out there. There's never really any issues out at the beaches. I always see people walking around with smiles on their faces whenever I go with my family. We spend a lot of time out there. And it's just, honestly, it's an amazing time. Like just walking around, it's not like, you know, other beaches down in Miami where there's so many people that it gets like super overwhelming, right? The water may not be as clear, but it is a little more relaxing because there's not so many people there just drinking and fighting and arguing and stuff like that. And I think for me, that's the biggest thing, is like going to Jacksonville beaches. It's just super calm. It's a super good time. I don't have to feel, you know, if you do get a property out here, later on you could rent it. You know, it's going to appreciate more because it is closer to the beach. People love to rent out there, or live out there rather, and rent as well. But also if you rent a property out there, it is going to be a little bit more expensive. So, you know, you may make a little more money off of that, but also it's going to cost you a little bit more to get into the property, especially with like taxes and such. So taxes here in Jacksonville are actually pretty low in Duval County compared to the rest of the state. But if you're buying these expensive homes, you know, obviously you're going to have to pay more. But the beach is beautiful. I will say that living out there must be a great time. So the lots are going to be a little bit smaller, but it's going to be a lot more fun. And when you walk around, you just kind of go hang out. And insurance is going to be a bit of a pain because you're going to be in a flood zone more than likely. So that's going to suck, but it is going to be a great time. If you live out there, you're going to be living on a vibe and you're not going to have a care in the world. You're just going to be walking around the beach, just hanging out, having a good time. So that, you know, I'll be a little bit jealous of you. I won't lie, but we'll talk about the next one. And our final one is going to be Nassau County. So Nassau County, I'm pronouncing it wrong, but it's going to be the #1 school system in Florida right now. They have tons of good schools. I'm telling you, like even driving through there, seeing the kids out there and playing, like I said about St. John's earlier, like seeing them outside is just like amazing feeling. Like I feel like you don't see that a lot now. If you see it in movies and stuff from like the 70s and 80s, when kids are outside having fun, hanging out, playing on their bikes, jumping ramps, stuff like that, you see that a lot up there. I really haven't even spent that much time up there up in Nassau County, but when I go up there, kids are just up there having a great grand time, and that's really cool. So they have amazing schools there. They have really like bigger lots, it's going to be more privacy, more land. It's for people who want to like be able to access the city but also be outside of the city, right? So like a suburb but like a little bit nicer than Oakleaf and maybe Orange Park, stuff like that. So it's a really nice area. The schools are really nice there. The land's beautiful, I'll tell you. And if you love hunting and stuff like that, you want to live a little more north of Jacksonville. There's tons of stuff to do out there in terms of like hunting, fishing, stuff like that. Nassau County is just a beautiful place. There's some beautiful homes out there. It is a beautiful community. There's tons of stuff to do for the kids to feel safe. And I will say pretty much everywhere in Jacksonville, do your own research when I say this, but the crime has fallen quite a bit recently. So, you know, it's really good because I can see a lot more kids outside playing. And I will be honest, that is something that like really makes me happy to see. When I first moved to Jacksonville, that was something that sucked. Is like I live in a community with 400 homes, right? And this is like a family community and I didn't see a lot of kids outside. So it had me a little bit worried, but now I'm starting to see kids go back outside. I don't know, but that's pretty much going to be it for this video. These are some of the best suburbs that you can move into in Jacksonville. Some of the best suburbs are areas. I know they're not all suburbs. But my name is Travis Koff again. If you're considering moving to Jacksonville, I would love to make you help that move. Again, I offer a free relocation guide in the description below. I offer my free resume. I appreciate you for watching. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.